should know.
And if you're a big fan of George, you won't want to miss his massive moment as he gets ready for his annual hibernation.
But first, meet Toby. Yes, he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and only 4 months old, bless him. And even when puppies are as young as this, you can still start teaching them the basics in good dog behaviour.
You certainly can, and even cute puppies like the lovely Sumi here can be quite a handful every now and again, but they start learning a few basic rules very early on, and the ones they start with are usually fairly simple.
Well, this is Sky. Carrie's just run off and she wants to go and tell us to come back. But she's 6 months old and she's a border collie just like Meg. Now, you'll probably know that the last year and a half of my life has been filled with training Meg. Sky's got all of that to come, but today we're joined in the Blue Peter studio by Dawn Cox, dog trainer. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Matt.
Lovely. Right, Sky, can I just give you to Louise? There we are, while I jump in here and have a look at these beautiful little puppies. Now, who are these and how old are they?
They're Dachshund Terrier crosses. They're about 8 weeks old, and at the moment they're living at the National Canine Defence League and looking for a home.
Oh, they're very friendly indeed, aren't they? Now, it is very important to start training when puppies are very young, isn't it, around the house?
Absolutely, and it's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. They need to get used to different sorts of people, different situations, anything from responding to their name, house training, good food manners, and walking correctly on a lead.
Yeah, now they've had a great time here in the studio. They've met everybody, all the crew, all the other dogs, and that's a really important part of the training.
It is. They need to socialise with other puppies. They also need to learn to mix with all sorts of other dogs, and we do that very carefully, introducing them carefully. Allowing them to socialise together under a watchful eye, just like you do with young children.
Well, they are absolutely beautiful, and I can tell you that Simon is socialising as we talk.
They are so cute, those ones. And I'm actually joined by Natasha. She's the owner of Breeze here, who's Sky's sister, another border collie, and she's already learning a few skills, isn't she, Natasha?
Yeah, I've been teaching her to leave. What you do is put your hand out straight, tell her to leave.
You've got a treat in there, haven't you?
Yeah, leave.
Leave. Oh, you're shaking the hand, very nice.
Leave. And then you tell her to take it. Take it.
Very good, very good. I've only just met Sumi, so I'll give it a go with Sumi. Sumi, I've got a lovely treat in my hand, so leave. Leave. OK, I am cheating a little bit, holding it back. There you go. Lovely, look at that. Tucking in. Are you impressed with that, Matt?
Very nicely done. Now, I'm here with Anya, who's a beautiful little Tibetan Terrier. Look what I've got, look what I've got, look what I've got. Very nice. Now, we're just going to do a little bit of comeback with Anya. Yep. Now, when I taught Meg this, I had a long cord, and I just pulled her in, and then I give her a little treat when she got there. But is that the kind of thing that you do?
Absolutely. It's a good idea to have a tidbit to use as encouragement to get your dog back to you, and then, of course, once he's got there, give him that tidbit and bags of praise. OK, but we're going to do a little bit of a different technique here, aren't we? Because you're going to hold on to Anya, and I'm going to run away with her. A tidbit here and get her to come to me that way. So I've disconnected the lead. So, Anya, come on. Good. Oh, yeah, I tell you what, like a rocket. Everybody was coming for that one. Great, and I've got another little bit of tidbit in me pocket. I'm just going to put Anya back on her lead so she doesn't run away, and I'm going to try and do a sit with her.
Good luck with this.
Right, I'll just get out of my pocket. Here we go, Anya. You ready? You know where that is, don't you? Hey, here it is. Look. Sit.
Go on.
Good.
Very nice.
Very nicely done. And in front of a dog audience as well.
Look at them all.
Look at this. They're all coming
guys.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Come on. In you come.
Well, it has been a puppy fest in here today. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. It's been brilliant seeing you all. And these puppy training exercises will be demonstrated this Saturday and Sunday at Discover Dogs. It's happening at London's Earls Court, along with loads of other information about owning and looking after your dog, whatever its age.
They're all saying, I'm going. All the details are on our website. And Blue Peter badge, I still can't say, I'm absolutely terrible there. Blue Peter badge winners can get in free.
Oh, I'm in love with Toby. As you can see, I've trained him so well, he just sits. Now, a few weeks ago, I was lucky enough to go filming in New York for a special Blue Peter, but even getting there was a pretty stylish affair, travelling transatlantic on the world's fastest plane. Concorde is the world's only supersonic passenger plane. Concorde means collaboration or harmony because she was a joint British-French invention. Reaching a speed of around 1,350 miles per hour, the plane flies at more than twice the speed of sound. A triumph of aircraft engineering, this plane is a flying legend. When you get close to her, the first thing that strikes you is her unique shape. with her famous droop nose that's lowered to improve the pilot's visibility during takeoff and landing, and her sleek, stylish body that's 62.1 metres long. And believe it or not, because of the incredible speeds that she flies at, the body of the plane actually heats up so that it stretches from 15 to 25 centimetres during each flight. Of all the fascinating facts and figures, I think the most mind-boggling is that if you leave London on the 10:30 a.m. flight, as I plan to do, you arrive in New York 3,500 miles away at 9:30 a.m., an hour earlier. That's why they say Concorde flies faster than the sun. The wingspan is 25.5 metres, much less than ordinary aircraft. There are 4 engines. For commercial flights, the most powerful jet engines in the world. And the massive tyres have just been made tougher and less likely to explode. That's a relief. Inside, there's room for 100 passengers, far fewer than most large planes, and that's one of the reasons why a return ticket costs a cool £7,000 or so. The interior of the plane was recently redesigned using new materials that are 20% lighter than the old ones, saving £1 million on fuel costs every year. Hi, hello. My name's Liz from Blue Peter. Hello. Nice. I wasn't just flying as a passenger, I was hoping to help the cabin crew too. Yes, I hope I'll be a help. Soon it was time for takeoff, a really exciting moment, although to be honest, quite scary too.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Captain Chris Norris. Special welcome to Liz Barker and the Blue Peter team.
Well, you might have thought you'd taken off before, but I tell you what, it's nothing compared to what this plane can do. The power is incredible. You take off and it's so fast and it reaches such a high altitude so quickly. You look out the window and already you're miles up in the air. I mean, the speed is phenomenal. I decided to have a quick chat with one of my fellow passengers. Hi Chelsea, nice to see you. Now there's not many children on board Concorde. Have you been on before?
No, I haven't.
This is your first time?
Yeah, it is.
And what do you think? What do you think's different about Concorde?
Well, the windows are smaller, and I like the way that it doesn't take as long as it would get there.
Then it was down to work. Oh, these are the ovens. Apparently the meals take about 20 minutes to cook. So the ovens are on.
Ovens are on. Now we get the trolley out.
Get the trolley out. Park it, put the brakes on.
Always have to have the brakes on every
So it doesn't go anywhere. We're right at the back of the aircraft here, Sue. It's very noisy.
Yes, it always is.
It always is.
It always is at the back. It's not so much like at the front, but because we have the engines not far from us. Yes, we do get used to shouting, you see.
That looks lovely. Look at this. We've got proper salt and pepper and little grinders. And lovely glasses.
So we usually stand those up.
Right, so we stand those up.
Say when you go out.
You've got caviar. Oh, wow. Never tried it, but I'm sure it's nice.
Oh, right.
It looks beautiful. So are we stacking these up? How does this work? Let's get them ready.
On the other side.
I'll put some glasses. Be careful not to break everything. Because we'll cut the lids
off, that's right.
I'll take the lids off.
And everyone gets bread up.
Yeah, so this is going to be our starter.
Yes, that's right. We go out with the starter and we offer the bread. And this is the toast.
Melba toast.
For the
caviar. Do we put it all on?
Yep, put it all on.
You must get some lovely passengers on board Concorde, some great stories.
What I love is people that, come on Concorde, it might be their first trip, and probably their only trip, and you might like to make it special for them. And they're so excited, it's wonderful.
Do we need to do anything else here, Sue?
No, that's all ready now. We can take it into the cabin to present it to the passengers.
Super. 3 courses have to be served during the flight, as well as snacks and drinks, and the customers expect top quality service. know, I didn't spill a thing.
Can I offer you a bread roll?
Oh, the journey is really whizzing by, but it would be even shorter if that's possible. If the plane could go supersonic the whole way, but it's only allowed to go supersonic over water. It has to decrease its speed when it goes over land or anywhere near airports.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the local time at 25 minutes past 9, we'd like to welcome you to New York. Thank you and a very good morning to you all.
Before I left, I met Captain Norris.
Captain Norris, thank you very much for a very enjoyable flight, one that I'll always remember. Tell me, how long does it actually take to train to fly this aircraft?
Assuming that you've already qualified on one of British Airways' subsonic jets, then the training to come onto Concorde is about 5 months.
And tell me, what are the main differences between this aircraft and other aircraft?
The obvious one is the speed of the aeroplane, but also the handling of it is very much more like shall we say, the difference between a sports car and a saloon car. It handles beautifully. It's a thoroughbred.
Now I'd arrived in New York, it was time to meet up with a familiar face and begin our trip.
Well, you can see exactly what we got up to in New York on Wednesday's programme. More about that later. Now, it's almost time for a major event in the Blue Peter calendar. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to be launching this year's Blue Peter Appeal. And over the years, you've raised millions of pounds and helped thousands of people all over the world through our appeals. Haven't they, Meg? 2 years ago, our Stamp Aid appeal raised funds to support village healthcare in Peru by building health centres known as Hampi Wazis. You amazed us by collecting just over 54 tonnes of stamps. That's around 180 million. Your money is still working. We set out with the charity Health Unlimited to help 3 villages, but you raised enough money to provide healthcare in 31 villages across Peru. Absolutely incredible. Now, you might have noticed that I was out of the studio for a couple of weeks last month. That's because I was on a top-secret filming exhibition finding out what we want you to raise money for this year. And all will be revealed on Monday, the 25th of November. So put that one in your diary. And here comes Liz in a minibus.
Yes, last year we launched the Blue Peter Will Help appeal for pensioners across Britain, working with the charity Help the Aged to provide specially designed transport and money to set up clubs and activities. We asked you to run bring and buy sales, and we set a target of £500,000. But thanks to your hard work, we raised more than double that. To date, the total amount is £1,048,000, a fantastic amount. That means we've been able to buy twice as many minibuses than originally expected. You've helped older people from Dalmarnock in Scotland to County Armagh in Northern Ireland to get out and about, something most of us take for granted. We bought multi-purpose vehicles, wheelchairs and mobility scooters like this one. We've also been able to set up activities for the over 65s all over the UK.
Now, as well as the appeal, in May this year, more than 21,000 of you took part in the second Blue Peter Bikeathon to raise money for leukemia research. And I'm delighted to say, Gary Lineker is here to reveal just how much money you raised. Gary, welcome back to Blue Peter.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, it's
Let's
great
get
to be
straight
back.
down to it. How much was it?
Well, we raised, unbelievably, 491,000, just under £500,000. Great effort.
Phenomenal amount of money, isn't it? And that was the second Blue Peter Bikeathon. So if we combine the 2 years...
I'm testing my maths, but I think it's about 850, roughly, £1,000, almost £1 million. I think we can, sort of May the 4th next year, we can make it that $1 million plus.
And where does that money go to? What sort of things?
Well, I think 2 things, really, is one, to find a guaranteed cure for leukemia, which has to be the ultimate goal, but also to do it with a treatment that's less severe than chemotherapy or radiotherapy, which is really nasty on the patients.
Well, it's great stuff. As you said, the Blue Peter Bikeathon will be back next year. You'll be there, we'll be there. Let's hope you'll be there as well. It's going to be great. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure, as always.
I am looking forward to it, although last year I was making cornish pasties. This year, hopefully I'll be
This year you're on your bike.
Now, long before Ant and Dec, Vic and Bob, even Tom and Jerry, the world's most successful comedy double act was Laurel and Hardy. Between the 1920s and 50s, British-born Stan Laurel and American Oliver Hardy produced an incredible 106 films, many of which are still shown today.
Yes, their slapstick style is instantly familiar, and it's been recreated in a brand new play about their lives. Playing Stan Laurel is a very familiar face. It's Blue Peter's 12th presenter, Peter Duncan. Between 1980 and 1986, Peter was the show's action man, trying his hand at sumo wrestling, training with the Marines and swinging from a trapeze. And recently he even popped up in an episode of The Quest.
Go away. Go away.
And today he's back, bringing to life a classic Laurel and Hardy sketch with a bit of help from Blue Peter presenter number 28, our very own Matty Boy.
Where are we going, Ollie?
Follow me, Stanley. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Nobody.
Nobody who?
Nobody who. Knock, knock. Good day, sir. We're the decorators.
We've come to decorate.
We certainly have.
Well, I want a good, clean job, and I don't want any mess.
You can rely on us, sir. You see, we're professionals.
I'll have that, please. Come on. Professionals.
Sorry.
Look at the mess.
Oh no. Ollie. Come down.
Oh, you...
I've got it.
Come on. Right, now there's the ladder. Come on. Now make sure you get this straight. Now look at the mess you made here. Look, there's buckets everywhere. Nothing all of this. Hey. Fire jungles.
Another nice mess.
You messy pup. Look at you.
That came out quite well, really.
Look at that. Now, Peter, why Laurel and Hardy? Need I ask?
Well, I've always had a laugh at the old time slapstick stuff, and people like Laurel and Chaplin, they all came over on the boat, and Fred Carner's Company to America. That's where all the great old style of slapsticks came from. So that's why, really, just love it.
Just love it. What a lot of fun. Well, good luck with the play. I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
What on earth are we all covered in here? Because it isn't wallpaper paste, is it?
It's shaving stick, water, and glycerin.
Well, Laurel and Hardy starts tomorrow night at the Key Theatre in Peterborough. It then goes on to Yeovil and Chesterfield. Go along, I'm sure it's going to be a great laugh, I tell you. Now then, I'm off to go get cleaned. Thanks a lot, chaps.
Oh, I thought that was fantastic, and Matt's now off for the quickest shower of his life. He'll be back at the end. But now, as you probably noticed, it's getting cold, it's getting dark, and there can't be many of us who don't occasionally feel like spending the entire day in bed asleep. Unfortunately, most of us can't do that, but here is one very lucky tortoise who's going to not only spend a day in bed, he's going to spend the next few months in bed doing exactly that. Lovely yawn. Right on cue, George. Yes, it's time to put George to bed once again. Now, tortoises hibernate every winter to avoid the cold. You couldn't exactly blame George for feeling ready for a rest this year. It's been a massive year for him because he found out that he's around 80 years old when we thought he was a mere 50.
He's aged 30 years in a year.
That's stressful in anyone's book.
Yes, he is very sprightly, though, for an 80-year-old. But like most tortoises, he's starting to wind down now, ready for hibernation. And the first sign is that he's stopped eating, which is good news, because if you're putting your tortoise to bed, their stomach needs to be completely empty. So make sure they haven't eaten for at least the last 2 weeks.
Yes, it's also important to give your tortoise a good health check. So let's have a quick look at George. Actually, I think he's looking fantastic. He's 80 and looking good. You need to check the eyes, the ears and the nose, and that there's nothing A little look, don't be shy. Nothing in your tortoise's mouth as well. And also, it's a good idea to weigh them. Make sure your tortoise hasn't lost any weight. If it has, you might need to take it to the vet just for a quick checkup. And also, before they go to bed, give them a bath to make sure they keep well hydrated. But I'd say he's looking ready.
George looks really ready. Now, George's bed is made from a small cardboard box. I'll just move you a little bit. And you need to punch some holes in the top so there's plenty of air that can get in there for your tortoise to breathe. Then you need to cover the bottom and sides with shredded paper. Of course, ripped up strips of newspaper are absolutely fine. Just don't put too much in, because you have to leave a little bit of room so your tortoise can move around.
You certainly do. Next, you need to prepare, as I'll pass that on to you, Liz, you need to prepare yourself a bigger box for the bed to go into. Again, punch some holes into the top, and then, as you did with the smaller box, add lots of strips of paper to the sides and the bottom.
Now, everything's ready, so it is time to say goodnight to George, I'm afraid. Oh.
George, it's been another fine year. You've aged 30 years, but you're looking great. Good night.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to put you in. Night-night, George. Sleep tight. Bye-bye. Oh. Now, we also need to place a thermometer inside with a probe. We need to put it in the box next to George, and this will tell us George's temperature, and the end will hang out the bottom there. So let's put that in there. Now, we need to just cover him with some more paper, and then close the box.
Gentle.
Yeah. Should we seal it up?
Yep.
So we've got our thermometer probe in there with the temperature gauge outside. Then we need to put him in a bigger box.
Here we go. Here's the bigger box. Lovely. Okay, there's
which
George.
Is insulated with more paper, and then we'll just put some more paper around him. And then seal that up with some tape. Again, the thermometer gauge is outside so we can check his temperature.
Now, the ideal place to put your tortoise is somewhere dark and quiet, maybe a garage, but don't just forget about them. Please keep an eye on the temperature. Now, as you can see, the temperature on here is saying 26.8 degrees centigrade. That's a studio temperature. Obviously, George wouldn't hibernate in the studio. That would be very, very silly. It needs to be reading around 4.5 degrees centigrade. That is the ideal temperature. If it gets warmer or colder than that, move the box. And if the temperature drops to around freezing, that could be fatal. So make sure you move it somewhere a little bit warmer. But if you go too warm, they'll wake up early. Hope you got all that. So with all that done, there's only one more thing to do, and that is to do this. I love this moment. Here it comes. Hold it. It's got a little bit of paper on the side.
Sign on.
Do not disturb till spring sticker. Say one more good night.
Night, George. So you know then it's not rubbish. So you know it's a tortoise in there. Now George is off somewhere very safe, and we'll see him again in a few months' time when he wakes up. I can't wait, George.
George, you've disappeared, man! You said goodbye before I got the chance. Anyway, that's about it for today, but there's just time to say that Will Young is going to be coming in on the studio on Friday, so you can text us with messages for him. What do you think, Liz? Do you think we should?
Do you know what? I'm foaming at the mouth. Now, if you want to text in, the number is 81222. That's a short code that works on all mobile networks. But to get through to us, you must start your message with the letters BP. Messages will be charged at the standard text rate.
Oh, dear. We'll be back on Wednesday with our special Blue Peter from New York, but we'll leave you with a taste. Until then...
Just a bit there, Liz.
Bye-bye.
See ya!
Foam everywhere. It's absolutely disgusting. You're a naughty boy.
I just had a bit of a, you know, wash, and I thought, you can't...
See you soon. Watch this. It's
really
good.
To be honest. See you later.
Ever wanted to mix with the stars at one of those cool award nights? Well, now's your chance. Vote for your favourite kids show.